I hope everybody listening will come and explore the New River Gorge in West Virginia.
Yes, go explore West Virginia. It doesn't get enough credit for being so beautiful. It doesn't get enough visitors.
Yes, we're trying to let out it was once known as America's best kept secret, but we don't want it to be secret anymore.
Hey, this is Cindy Scott from Cinder's Travels. Welcome to the Locals Know Best podcast. This is episode 6. Locals Know Best is a bi-weekly podcast where my guests share the places and outdoor travel adventures they love most, right in their own backyards. Topics range from unique lodging options, treasured outdoor activities, favorite dining spots, and a breakdown of whether the Insta-famous and possibly overrated spots in town are even worth checking out. Today, we're going to be talking with Heather Johnson about the perfect day of outdoor adventure in Fayetteville, West Virginia. Heather is a native West Virginian who co-owns, along with her husband, an adventure outfitter business that primarily focuses on rafting trips known as river expeditions. You may or may not know this, but Fayetteville has some of the best rafting in the United States. The town of Fayetteville has been named Best Rivertown in 2013 by Blue Ridge Outdoor Magazine and one of the 2006 Top 10 Coolest Small Towns in America by Budget Travel Magazine. Today's episode is going to be a little bit of a unique one because it's entirely possible to have an incredible day of outdoor adventure at river expeditions without ever even leaving their campus. But don't worry, we'll still touch on some of the local spots in town that are not to be missed. If you want to follow along with links to all the places we're talking about and a map of the area, this episode's show notes can be found at localsknowbestpodcast.com/6. As always, thanks so much for listening. Let's get into the episode. Hi, Heather. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm so excited to be on your podcast. Doing very well.
Oh, great. I'm really excited to talk with you today, too. So, let me ask you first, what makes you an expert on the Fayetteville area?
Well, I have been in the whitewater rafting business for 24 years, and my father started the company before that in 82. So I'm a second-generation rafting outfitter here in the New River Gorge, and I've done everything from shuck corn and fold T-shirts to reconciling trial balances for the company, so everything in between.
So you took over for your father 25 years ago, you said?
Well, we bought another company for sale, so we were kind of in competition for a little while, and then we bought his company out in 2008.
Okay. So you've always lived there? You've always been local to the area?
Yes, I'm a West Virginia native.
Awesome. So is my husband, and I have to say, West Virginia is really underrated, and I'm really excited to talk to you today because we have been rafting in Alaska and Colorado and all of these places that I think people more traditionally think of with whitewater rafting, but we have never had as fun of a rafting day as we had at your place in West Virginia.
Oh, I love hearing that, Cindy. That's fantastic.
It's true. So when's the best time to be experiencing this area of West Virginia?
Well, we raft from April through October, so you really get 3 distinct seasons. You know, spring is typically higher water levels, and you can see more of the gorge when the leaves are not on the trees. And then in summer, the water and the air temperature warms up, so it's really nice and fun. It's at a good summer level, so we have a lot of families coming in the summer. And then in the fall, of course, the foliage is spectacular, and the river and the rafting is still great. We run the Gauley River, which is world-class, so people come from literally all around the globe to experience the whitewater from the Gauley River.
And you have tours that range in all different types. Like you can raft all day or just for a few hours, right?
Yes, we have multi-day trips where you can camp out riverside. Those are our premium trips, so you can stay overnight multiple nights, and, you know, you get to fall asleep listening to the river, wake up riverside. Your guide will cook you a hearty breakfast, and then you'll do another day of adventure. And then we have what we call express trips, and those are just an abbreviated short trip through the New River Gorge that last about 3 hours. So those are for time-sensitive travelers, maybe who hadn't planned to go on the river or even thought of a rafting trip, and they'll see signs for the New River Gorge National River and decide they do want to devote an afternoon to being on the river.
I'd imagine that happens quite often.
Yes, it does in the summer. So we're grateful that people are out and traveling again by car, and we've been open responsibly since Memorial Day weekend. So we do have COVID mitigation in place, and our guests are very happy with our response so far.
What's the best time of year for the rapids?
Well, every season has different offerings. So if you're looking for really big whitewater, I would say come in April and May. If you're bringing the family and you want a nice relaxing float trip, you could try the upper New River in the summer. If you're looking for extreme whitewater, class 5 plus, you could try the Gauley River in the fall. So plenty to do all season long.
Yeah, it just depends on what you're looking for.
Right.
And there's so much to explore around there.
There is so much to see and do. The world-class biking, rock climbing. We offer stand-up paddleboard tours, and those are really popular now. We have a zip line course.
And is that all at your place, or are these all things to do in town?
Well, we offer all the adventures. So we do rafting and zip lining, and for climbing and biking and horseback riding and fishing, we partner with local adventure providers. So we've had long-standing relationships, and it works well because we do what we do well, and they offer, I don't want to buy a stable of horses, so I will partner with a great horseback outfitter.
So if rafting isn't our thing, there's still tons of other outdoor activities we could be doing in the area.
Certainly. But again, I would encourage everybody just to give it a try. Start off with the low-impact, gentle float trip. And if you like that, you can work your way up to the whitewater.
Is rafting something that any age group and activity level can do?
Well, we offer the float trip for children as young as 6. So ages 6 to 11 will raft free with a paying adult on that section. So that makes it even more affordable for families. Then you have to be at least 12 to do the lower New River Gorge trip. That's kind of the intermediate class rafting, if you will. Of course, no experience is necessary, but the minimum age is 12. And that's the same for the lower Gauley River. And it's very similar to the lower New River, very scenic and beautiful. And then the upper Gauley is probably the pinnacle of whitewater that we offer in the East Coast. So it's minimum age of 16 with previous rafting experience recommended.
Awesome. Okay, well, I really want to dive into your perfect day of outdoor adventure in Fayetteville. Obviously, this episode's going to be a little different, and Heather is really going to talk a lot about her place of business because it is a really awesome place to have a day of outdoor adventure. But I do also kind of want to go into the town and just what people can do around the area as well. So I'd love to start it off with, where are we waking up in Fayetteville?
Well, we do have beautiful cabins at River Expeditions, so we would have people stay there, and then downtown Fayetteville is about miles, and we encourage them to explore the area. Several great restaurants serving breakfast. One of our favorites is the Cathedral Cafe, and they have some really bougie coffee drinks that we love, and they also have great salmon bagels for breakfast. So that's probably my top favorite.
Also, beyond cabins, you guys have tons of different sleeping options there.
We do. Everything from campsites where you bring your own tent to we have 5-bedroom cabins with hot tub, fireplace, full kitchen, and anything in between for every group size and budget as well. Plus, we offer the 4th night free, so we make it a little more affordable for folks to come in and extend their stay and really explore more of the area in southern West Virginia.
It would be a great place for a big family trip, honestly, a group reunion. We've thought about that. We go across the United States and we keep coming back to this would be a really great destination to have all of our friends and family together for a weekend.
Excellent. Yes, we host family reunions. We host large school and youth groups. We host just all kinds of different and blended families. They come in all shapes and sizes. So
Yeah.
we even have singles who come. They just want a fun time. And, of course, they'll be in the raft with other folks and make new friends. So,
Yeah. Awesome. Well, let's continue with our day of outdoor adventure. So we have gotten breakfast either on your campus there or out in town. And then what are we going to do next?
well, I would recommend a whitewater rafting trip, obviously. Head back to River Expeditions and board the bus for about a 30-minute bus ride to the river, and then have a full day of rafting. We stop midway through the trip and have lunch along the riverside, and then continue rafting. So it's a full day adventure. We end up beneath the world-famous New River Gorge Bridge, and you can't beat that for spectacular scenery and just the awe-inspiring views that you'll see in the gorge.
Yeah, it's really beautiful, that whole gorge area. And tell us a little bit more about what we'll encounter on the full day rafting trip.
Okay. The full day rafting trip is fully guided, of course. So the first half of the day is devoted to the guide going over paddling instructions and just getting everyone in the raft acclimated and paddling well together, because that is the key to success in the rapids. If you're all paddling together in unison and reacting to the guide's commands. So since you've rafted, you know how this works. If you're going down the river like a caterpillar, it's not going to be pretty when you're in rapids. So the first part of the day is just some mild class 2 and 3 whitewater, and then you really get into the meat of the gorge during the second half of the trip. And fortunately, the New River Gorge is what we call a pool drop river. So it's not continuous whitewater. You have a class 4 or 5 rapid, then you have a recovery pool at the end. So you do have a chance to collect yourself and do a paddle high five with everybody in your group and look back upstream and see what you've just conquered.
Yeah, and you get the opportunity to jump out a few times too, if I remember right.
We do. We have several rocks that we pull up to, and you have the option to hike up the top of the rock and jump off. We call that jump rock, of course. You can also have the option to surf in West Virginia, which is a unique experience. You put the nose of the raft into the downstream current, and it holds there.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't know what level. It's only available at certain water levels, so I don't know if you got to experience that when you were here with your husband, but it's really fun. A lot of people love surfing.
No, that sounds awesome. I didn't get to do that. I know my he loves the part where he gets to just jump out of the raft and float in the water for a little bit. Like, he loves that. There's like the little mini rapids you can kind of just cruise in.
Exactly. Yeah, we have a swimmer's rapid, so you get the chance to float through one of the class 1 rapids, if you will. And then there's also a place that is called Thread the Needle. So you're floating between 2 huge boulders, and you try to go between them, and the current is pushing you around one of the sides. So it's interesting if people they think that it's going to be simple, but the current takes them a different way around the rock. So that's neat to try jump rock and surfing as well as Thread the Needle.
Yeah, that was a really great breakdown. And yes, at the end, at least at the end of our trip, we went under the New River Gorge Bridge, and then the bus is sitting there waiting for you, and you get this really wild ride back. There's some crazy driving involved of getting back up this hill.
Absolutely. And the even crazier thing is it used to be 2-way traffic. And about 15 years ago, we petitioned the Division of Highways to make it one way. It's safer for our outfitter traffic as well as guests and tourists. So if you think it was wild in a single lane, one way. You should imagine with radio traffic navigating the pullouts, and we called it the squeeze. So, yeah, everything's more fun in a 55-passenger bus.
Yeah. My husband, who drives our fifth wheel most of the time, was just in awe. He was just so impressed. Okay, so after our long day of rafting, we're coming back to River Expeditions. And what do we do to wind down and have dinner and everything for the rest of the day that remains?
Well, when you get back to our campus, you receive complimentary drink tokens, which you can redeem at the Red Dog River Saloon and Grill. And we have a videographer who goes along with the trip. So they professionally mix and master a quick fly video that has music and slow motion, and they highlight all the major rapids that you hit during the day. So it's really a fun time of camaraderie, and you get to watch and relive all the memories that you made that day. And ironically, our bartender makes a great fresh blueberry mojito, which you would expect to find in some cocktail bar in Manhattan, but he is amazing. So any kind of blended or frothy drink with an umbrella you can get at the Red Dog River Saloon.
Yeah, and the Red Dog River Saloon it's such a fun place. It's like this big pole barn, and you get to hang out with everybody you just met through your rafting day. There's pool. It's just got like a really good energy in there. It's a fun place to relive the day, exactly what you're saying. Watch it all and make new friends.
Yes, indeed. Everybody likes the fun, eclectic vibe. It's very casual. And you get to hang out with your river guide and kind of unwind and review the day's fun.
And our trip had dinner, but I don't know if that's everyone's trip. So what are the options for either having dinner there or elsewhere in town?
Well, some packages do include dinner, and that's usually a mouth-watering steak dinner prepared to order. And we also have what we call pub grub at the Saloon and Grill. So you can get anything from a great burger and wings to quesadillas and nachos. And, of course, Fayetteville has tons of great dining options, from Pies and Pints, which has gourmet pizza, and they've franchised all over the Southeast now, with their flagship restaurant being right here in Fayetteville. And there's Secret Sandwich Society, lots of great things to try.
Yeah, we really loved Secret Sandwich Society. I'm glad you said that one. It was delicious.
Yeah.
Great. Well, do you have any favorite trails?
Oh, there's several. There's so many. In all honesty, my guilty pleasure, we have a hiking trail from our luxury cabins that go to one of the local breweries. So leaving the property, that's my favorite trail to hike, down to the brewery.
Oh, nice. What is the brewery that leads to?
That is called Bridge Brew Works. They have a great tasting, you can get flights of all their different beers. They have an outdoor patio with cornhole and plenty of TVs for watching sporting events. But they do close at 10 o'clock, so we have a reciprocal agreement with them. If folks still want to continue enjoying Bridge Brew Works, they come back to the Red Dog Saloon, and, we serve their beer on tap at the saloon as well. So it's a great partnership, if you will. But the Park Service is a great resource to really locate all the trailheads. We refer everyone to hit the visitor center and pick up maps to find some of the best hiking trails, mountain biking trails. There are climbing routes. Some of the more popular trails, of course, are Long Point and Endless Walk, but there are tons of other trails that are a little less popular and going to be less crowded. So I would encourage everybody to download the Park Service app and find a trail that fits your ability and what you're hoping to see. If you're looking for scenery or waterfall or overlooks of the bridge or the gorge, or just being in nature.
And I do want to second you talking about going to the National Park Service Visitor Center. We went there, and the man who was there, I believe his name was Bob, but he was a local, and he was from the area, and he was great at recommending the popular hikes and telling us Endless Wall Trail and the Long Point were going to be the most popular. But he was also really good at just telling us they were worth it and a few that we could skip. And he also recommended things around in the area to us that had nothing to do with the national park, which is how we ended up at the Berkeley coal mine exhibit and going into the coal mine. And we just never would have even known that was there. And it was wonderful. So I totally second going to that visitor center and talking to them.
Yeah, stay longer and just check out more of the area.
Are there any overrated or kind of insta-famous spots that you would recommend skipping?
That I would recommend skipping? I don't know. I would never pan anything because everyone has different ideas. So I really don't know of any place that I would pan. There is a pretty kitschy little tourist trap. It's called Mystery Hole, and I think everybody needs to see that. It's on along Route 60. I don't know if you visited that or not, but...
No, but my husband's going to be so sad to hear this because he wanted to go.
Boo! And you poo-pooed that idea, Cindy?
I don't remember why we didn't end up going. I think we just ran out of time, but he really wanted to go. We'll have to come back and do it.
You'll have to come back. Yes, absolutely. So it's just fun, and it's reminiscent of really old style side of the road tourist traps. I mean, it absolutely is. It's just really funny, and I don't even know how long it's been in business, but some people have to come to it each year. Some people are one and done, so it's noteworthy. Let's just say that.
Yeah, wow. Every year, reoccurring visitors. That's wild to me. That's really good to know.
I think they're friends with the owners, too. But, yeah, they enjoy the company and they enjoy the kitsch of it all.
Okay. Is there anything else you wanted to say about the area or about River Expeditions?
Well, I just really want to give a shout-out to our staff. They're amazing. And our reviews really speak for themselves. When you're out on the river for 7 hours, you get really close to your guide and learning history, just being entertained. And they do a wonderful job, and that's one of our highest marks is for our friendly, approachable, and really genuine staff.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I feel like I'm becoming a somewhat salesperson of your place on this episode, but
I'm happy about that.
We just had such a great time. One thing that you briefly mentioned, but I want to mention too, is at the end of our day, we went into the hot tub that's in the area. That you have a hot tub on campus there. It was just such a great day, such a great way to unwind and like finish the day off.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have an outdoor pool and hot tub. And as you mentioned, you can just relax, soak those sore muscles, and just enjoy a fun day.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Heather. This has been really great.
It was my pleasure. I hope everybody listening will come and explore the New River Gorge in West Virginia.
Yes, go explore West Virginia. It doesn't get enough credit for being so beautiful. It doesn't get enough visitors.
Yes, we're trying to let out it was once known as America's best kept secret, but we don't want it to be secret anymore.
Yes, that's great. Well, thanks, Heather.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for tuning in. Once again, if you want to grab the show notes for this episode, head on over to localsnowbestpodcast.com/6. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love for you to leave a review in Apple Podcasts and let me know what your favorite part was. Make sure to check out the Instagram post for this episode at Cinders Travels, and please feel free to share the episode with your favorite travel buddy. Thanks so much for listening. Catch you next time on Locals Know Best.